Wow. Wow. Alright, so I don't really watch these kinds of movies. I watch action movies, rom-coms, comedies. Anyways, wow. So I went and watched the movie Obsession or Obsessed. I'm not exactly sure what it's completely called. I forgot. But I watched that movie, and look, my biggest complaint is probably my own cinema. It was fucking loud. Like, it was a horror movie, alright? So I don't watch horror movies in the cinema. So maybe this was just a new experience for me. Maybe they're all like this, or maybe it was just the cinema and it's VFX or whatever you call it. But it was loud. Like when the person who was obsessed, the woman, I forgot her name. I don't know. We'll call her Francine. When Francine was obsessed, like I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You heard it, and you heard it in a muffled, sort of psychotic way, which is probably the way the movie's supposed to be filmed. However, if a door slammed or a gunshot went off or I love you, like really loud and aggressive, it was like fucking ear bursting loud. I really didn't enjoy that experience with the movie. It was really loud, and it was like sudden loud because it was like a horror movie. So like she would do this creepy, walk, and it was like the footsteps were so freaking loud. But again, maybe that's what horror movies do. I'm not sure. Talking about that, I think maybe I forgot this, or maybe I just realized. But when we were in the cinemas, all we were getting were horror adverts. We weren't getting like, if I walk into Fast and Furious, you'll get action movie adverts or rom com, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But I realized today I had an epiphany that the only movie adverts we got before the movie was on were horror adverts, and I went, oh, I said that. Are we only getting horror ads because we're watching a horror movie? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't know that. Anyway, the movie. Let's talk about the movie. It was bloody good. I don't watch these sort of movies at all, but it was bloody good. It was a good movie. Now, I'll talk about it and ruin this. It will be a spoiler talk. But basically, it was about a guy who loved Francine, or whatever I called her. We'll call him David. That's really bad. That's my name, but whatever. John. Anyway, so David loved Francine, but he wasn't sure if Francine loved him. And something happened in the movie, and he fucked up, and he friend zoned her, sort of by accident, because she like, do you like me? Like, not love, but do you know? She's like, do you like me? And he's like, you're a good friend. And he's like, fuck, 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 fuck. Anyway, he had this wishing willow, which is like, you just picture a small firework or a branch of a tree. It's like this wooden thing, and you make a wish and you snap it, and that's it. You don't know if the wish would come true or not, especially at this point. But literally like a minute later, she's like running to his window, acting all weird and psychotic. But it's not like as aggressive as it was towards the end. It feels like it convinced her brain to obsess over him and love him. But the further on the movie went, the more Francine was not there. Like, as an example, they eventually, just after he broke the stick, eventually they went to his house and she kissed him once. She was on the bed with the shirt off, just the bra, and they were kissed. And after the first kiss, she woke up. Francine woke up, not like the demon or whatever. And she panicked and pushed him away and went, what the And that was actually Francine, not the demon. I don't think it's a demon, but I'm going to call it a demon. And that was the demon. And I felt like I didn't really see much of Francine. I wish I saw more of her. There are only like 3 scenes where I feel like she was there. And one was the kiss. One was when he tried to cancel the wish. He rang up the Willow Wish toy. He rang up the phone number, and they were like, "Would you like to cancel a wish, or would you like to make a wish, or would you like to contact our shops, and order more wish willows or whatever?" And he's like, "Would you like to speak to Francine?" And he's like, "What?" And then you just hear, "No, no," like, "Let me out, let me out." Actually, I think it was more like just screams. It was like, "Ah!" But I feel like that phone call was actually Francine trapped, like screaming, sort of in pain, or "Let me out, let me out." So, and at one point of the movie, I actually think she knows, because she says, "You wished for this." So I think, I don't know how long she knew for in the movie's timeline, but at one point I think she knows. And it's like, the further on the movie comes, obviously the more obsessed she is. And it was good, because the person I was with, she didn't realise. She thought the movie was going to be he was a stalker, he was obsessed with her, but it's totally the opposite. He wished, and she was the obsessive person. It was a really good film, actually, and it's like, what was I going on about? Oh, we'll skip towards the ending, but like further towards the movie, she was getting more obsessive, and if a woman got in the way of that, maybe she would kill the woman. Or if a bloke did something wrong, maybe she would threaten to stab or, kill the bloke, as an example. So it's like that she got really, really obsessed at one point, just watching him sleep, and she's like hiding in a dark corner, like, "Just sleep, I'm just watching you sleep." It was really weird. There are some weird, like, creepy scenes. Not weird scenes, more creepy, obsessive creepy scenes. But again, it all fits into the movie. Anyway, the point is, towards the end, because when they pop the magic willow things, you hear this sound effect, it's like, beep, 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 like the box opens. And then you would hear this very loud, like a branch cracks. Anyway, he tried to convince his friend that he made a wish, and she became obsessed, and that's why she's like how she is, and it's his fault, but the wish is real. And the friend's like, "I don't believe you, I don't believe you." He's like, "Here, try it." He's like, "No, you're fucking crazy." And he's like, "Look, if this is really real," snatches it out of his hands, "well, then I wish for $1 billion. Snap. And he actually just gets $1 billion, just falls out of nowhere. And you should see, like, David's face. He's just like, "You fucking asshole." He's just like, "You didn't do that." He's like, "That was my one way to solve this problem." He's like, "I needed you to wish her back to normal. You didn't believe me, and now you snapped. Like $1 billion, and you could see him like, "Fuck you." Anyway, the other guy doesn't say much. He's like shocked, because $1 billion is constantly falling. Anyway, towards the end, one person is dead, and then another person is dead, and it's like he's had a huge argument with Francine at this point. Like, this is in the last like 10 minutes of the film. Huge argument, big bad argument, real bad. And he's in the bathroom, and he's thinking about killing himself. And then, if you didn't pay attention to the movie, I don't think you really would have noticed it, because everything is so fucking loud in this movie. Footsteps, doors, screaming. But silently in the background, because I guess the door's shut and she's, not on the screen, you hear, boom, 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 boom. And if you didn't realise what was happening, the ending might not make sense. But what happened is because he bought two wishing willows, one for his best friend and one for hopefully her to wish that she would unwish herself. But he never gave it to her. I guess he put it on the table. Anyway, he bing, 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 really quietly in the background of the movie. Then I clicked and I went, oh shit, I'm pretty sure. And then you just see him like, I love you. She wished for him to be obsessed with her. It's so crazy. So it's like he wished for her love, which then she got obsessed. And then at the end of the movie, she grabbed the willow wish thingy, snapped it, and wished for him to love her. It was a crazy ending. It was like, and the thing is, it's not really how the movie ended, because he took a lot of pills and killed himself, overdosing on drugs. So if you didn't notice, because he went out the room like, I love you, and kissed her, and then pretty much died like this, well, fell on his knees, foaming from the mouth. If you didn't listen to that sound effect, and you didn't click, you might have just thought, for some reason, he I don't know, just was happy and kissed her, like, yeah, because I say that because someone came out in the movie theatre and was like, why did he do that? And the date of his at the cinemas explained it. I could hear because he was behind me at the chair, because you got chairs. So yeah, I was like, not everyone got the ending. But yeah, I got it. I was like, oh shit. It was a very interesting movie. Really interesting. I don't know the actors, I don't know what they're from, but I give this movie probably an 8.5, 9. Mostly because it's different, and I like different movies once in a while, especially when they surprise me. Not in a shocking way or that was shit, but as in a good shock, like, fuck, that was a decent movie. Like, fuck. I actually, if I watch a good horror, I'm like, I feel like I should watch another one. Like, damn. I don't know how we call this horror. To me, it was a thriller, but it had a little bit horror-ish scenes, but it was cheap horror. It was jump scares. It was cheap horror. But yeah, it was like, fuck, that was a pretty good movie, man. Like, that was a pretty decent movie. It's like, holy shit. So, yeah. Anyway, basically, just got to send this to 2 friends. My movie review of Obsession. Because I've got a movie buff friend. Well, I'm more of a movie buff. He's a movie buff. He likes directors and shit. But, interesting movie. Yeah. Peace.